All right, Bears fans, let's get into it. The 2025 season schedule is officially out, and man, this thing is packed with drama, intensity, and storylines that could shape the entire year. What I'm gonna do today is walk you through every game on the calendar and break it down from the easiest matchup all the way up to the toughest challenge. And before you say, but the schedule just came out, yes, it's early. But this is the NFL. No off season when it comes to talking football. So let's kick things off with what I see as the lightest assignment on the list. The New Orleans Saints come into Soldier Field. Look, I don't care who's under center for them. Tyler Show, Spencer Rattler, doesn't matter. That roster, it's a rebuild in progress. Aging defense, unproven offense, and a first time head coach trying to find his rhythm. The Bears have to win that game. No excuses. That one is circled as a must-have. And when you're trying to stack wins in a competitive NFC North, you can't let those layups roll by. Next up is Week 15. At home, against the Browns. You want to talk quarterback chaos? Cleveland might be starting its fourth or fifth option by then. Maybe it's Dylan Gabriel. Maybe it's Shedeur Sanders. Maybe Joe Flacco is still hanging around somehow. Whatever the case, it's not a stable situation. And with the Bears playing that one in Chicago late in the season, with playoff stakes potentially on the line, you better believe they'll be locked in. The Browns have talent in spots, sure, but the Bears should have a clear edge across the board. Week 10, back at Soldier Field, the Giants come to town. Interesting scheduling dynamic here. The Bears are coming off 2 straight road games against Baltimore and Cincinnati. Could be a bit of a letdown spot, sure, but the Giants? They'll be fresh off a war with the 49ers. And anyone who follows football knows this. The week after you play a Kyle Shanahan team is usually brutal. Those guys hit hard, wear you down, physically. That's been the trend for years. So Chicago might actually catch New York a little banged up and vulnerable. That's one the Bears can definitely grab if they come in focused. Let's talk Week 4. The Bears hit the road to face the Raiders. Now, going to Vegas is never easy. Pete Carroll brings a certain level of professionalism, and Geno Smith is a legit starter. Not a Pro Bowler every week, but he knows what he's doing. Still, of all the road games on the slate, this one feels like the most winnable. The Raiders have holes. Their secondary? Weak. Offensive line? Suspect. No dominant receiver on the outside. If Chicago can limit Brock Bowers, and that's a big if, because the kid's a beast, they'll be in great shape. And don't forget, Bears fans travel. That might feel like a home game inside Allegiant Stadium. 5th easiest. Steelers at home. Week 12. And I know, it's Pittsburgh. They always find a way to stay competitive. But let's look at this realistically. Even if they've somehow lured Aaron Rodgers into the building, that's a cold weather game in Chicago in late November. That could go either way. Rodgers or not, this Steelers team just doesn't scare me. The offense, lacking playmakers. The defense, solid but not the same unit if TJ Watt isn't flying around at 100%. And if the Bears defense gets after the quarterback like they should, especially against a less mobile QB, that one feels like another W moving on to Week 3 against the Cowboys in Chicago. This is where it gets trickier. Dallas is always a wild card. If Dak Prescott is healthy and rolling, they can beat anyone. But that game comes after 2 emotional matchups for the Bears, Monday Night Football in Week 1, then a trip to Detroit. Could be a letdown spot. Still, the Cowboys might be dealing with their own issues. Trayvon Diggs might not be back yet. Linebacker room is thin. Outside of Micah Parsons, that pass rush doesn't keep me up at night. If the Bears double-team Parsons and stay clean on offense, they've got a shot. Now we get to the season opener. Week 1, Monday Night Football, Vikings at Soldier Field. I'm calling this the 7th easiest. And here's why. The Bears have the edge. New coaching staff, retooled roster, energy will be electric. It's prime time, J.J. McCarthy's first NFL start, and it's in Chicago? That's a tough ask for the rookie. Early in the year, defenses are usually ahead of the offenses, and the Bears will be fired up. Could be a tone setter for the entire season. 8th, Week 16 against the Packers at home on a Saturday. That's the first of 2 matchups against Green Bay. The schedule here does Chicago a favor. The Bears play Cleveland the week before. Not an easy game, but manageable. The Packers, meanwhile, will have been in Denver dealing with that altitude. That stuff wears on you, and if the Bears split the series with Green Bay, you want to get that win at home, late in the year, with playoff positioning likely in the mix. Let's talk Week 6, a Monday night showdown against the Commanders in DC. Now, the reason this isn't higher up on the list is because of the circumstances. The Bears are coming off their bye, and then they get the Monday slot, so that's 15 days of rest versus Washington's 8. Big time advantage, and the motivation, massive. This team embarrassed Chicago last year. If you're a returning player, if you got pride, you circle this one. Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels, that's the narrative, right? Caleb wants to shut down that conversation. And I trust Ben Johnson to make good use of the bye week to adjust and prep. Week 2 in Detroit, now we're talking. This one's 9th easiest, but don't take that to mean it's a cakewalk. It's on the road on a short week after an emotional opener. But getting the Lions early could actually be a blessing. Ben Johnson facing his old team, and Detroit still working out their defensive scheme with a new coordinator. That's a good time to catch them. Sure, it'll be loud. It's always loud in Ford Field, but the Bears might have a chance to sneak one here before the Lions fully hit their stride. Now, Week 11, back to Minnesota. Always a tough place to play. That crowd is brutal, but context matters. I mean, week before, Minnesota faces Baltimore. That means 60 minutes of chasing Lamar Jackson and getting hit by Derrick Henry. Bears, meanwhile, will have played the Giants. So advantage, Chicago. Still not an easy game, but you have to think the wear and tear factor helps level the playing field. I had the Bears losing this in my early predictions, but if the Vikings come in banged up, that could flip Week 9. At Cincinnati. Okay, this one starts to get into tougher territory. Not because the Bengals are unbeatable, but because of the setup. The Bears will have just played in Baltimore. So you fly back, then head out again to face Joe Burrow and that receiver core. You can't give Jamar Chase an inch. You blink, he's gone. High-scoring game? Most likely. But it's going to take a 4-quarter effort to come out on top. Now, let's talk Week 17, a trip to San Francisco for Sunday Night Football. Originally, I had this as a top 3 toughest game, but after looking at the details, it slides down a bit. The Bears play the Packers the week before, a Saturday game. The Niners, they're on Monday night at Indy. That means Chicago gets an extra rest window. Potentially 2 full days more than San Francisco. And in late December, that matters. Travel will be rough, sure. But if the Niners stay locked into that Monday slot, the rest advantage goes to the Bears. And that could make this one more competitive than it looks on paper. Week 14 in Green Bay. Now we're getting into the pain zone. This game's going to be brutal. Cold. Hostile. Revenge in the air, especially if the Bears took the first meeting. Packers are coming off a Thanksgiving Day game. Early slot, so they get a mini bye. The Bears play Friday against Philly. Less rest. Not a huge gap, but enough to notice. And don't forget, Green Bay wants that Soldier Field loss from last year back. That's going to be a high-intensity matchup. Week 18, Bears host Detroit to close out the regular season. Depending on how the standings shake out, this might be a playoff game in disguise. Win and in, lose and you're out. Division title on the line. All of that could be in play. Doesn't matter if it's at home, pressure like that makes any game tough, especially when you're facing a divisional rival that knows you inside and out. Week 13 and the Bears go to Philly on a short week. And enough said. That's one of the hardest games on the entire schedule. On the road, late in the season, facing a team that's probably going to be in the thick of a playoff race. And they're physical. Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, that offensive line, they don't mess around. And even though Kellen Moore is gone, Kevin Patullo is taking over the offense, and he's no slouch. If the Eagles are rolling, that one could be a reality check. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers around the NFL world are growing louder as rumors swirl about a potential blockbuster signing that could shake up the Chicago Bears roster. Tyreek Hill, the explosive wide receiver known for his electrifying speed and game-changing plays, might be heading to the Windy City. Though nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the Bears organization hint that Hill's arrival could come with quite the celebration, signaling a major shift for a franchise hungry to reignite its offense. Tyreek Hill, who has made headlines for his blazing pace and remarkable ability to break defenses, has been one of the most sought-after receivers in recent seasons. His knack for turning ordinary plays into highlight reel moments makes him a perfect candidate to transform the Bears' aerial attack. If the rumors hold any truth, the Bears could be gearing up to welcome Hill with an atmosphere of festivity and excitement, possibly even a grand unveiling to energize the fan base and mark a new chapter in Chicago's football saga. Speculation intensifies as insiders suggest the Bears see Hill not just as a player, but as a cornerstone to build around, potentially pairing him with emerging talent to elevate the team's competitiveness. Chicago has struggled in recent years to maintain a consistent offensive threat, and Hill's dynamic style could be exactly what the team needs to turn heads in the division. The timing of these rumors also aligns with ongoing trade talks and contract negotiations that have kept fans and analysts glued to updates. While the Bears have remained tight-lipped, the buzz around Hill's potential arrival has already sparked conversations about how the offense might evolve. Coaches and players alike are reportedly buzzing with anticipation, knowing that Hill's presence could force opposing defenses to rethink their strategies. Of course, the NFL rumor mill is nothing new, and fans have learned to temper excitement with caution. Still, the possibility of Tyreek Hill donning the Bears' navy and orange is tantalizing. If it happens, the city of Chicago could witness not just a new era in its football history, but also a celebration worthy of a superstar's arrival, complete with cheers, festivities, and renewed hope for the season ahead. As the offseason progresses, all eyes will remain on Chicago, watching closely for any sign that this rumor will materialize. For now, it's a thrilling whisper on the wind, a potential game changer that could light up Soldier Field and bring a fresh burst of energy to the Bears faithful. Will Tyreek Hill be the spark that Chicago needs? Only time will tell, but the buzz is undeniable and the excitement is building. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.